Good evening and welcome along. We're here for round 21 of the Sony Cup Series schedule for 2019. Here for the championship season, only 10 races to go, 9 after this one. It's the Australian Tour, and it's a race weekend that everyone has looked forward to. Here for Australia, a track we have never raced on in the Sony Cup Series history. It's a street circuit. What can happen on these streets here in Australia? We're about to find out. However, practice was a little interesting. The home countryman, Zachary Fitzwater, was fastest in practice till the very end until Jordan Davis went to the top of the board, and a lot of drivers were just trying to figure out how to get around this street circuit until qualifying came around and speeds picked up to about 2 seconds faster when nobody was around. How about an all front row Nick Mace and Charles Sanford for Mace Enterprises? Nick Mace and Charles Sanford were about a full second out ahead of their competition, back to third place. That's how quick they were, and the streets were very tough to tackle when you were going full speed ahead all by yourself in qualifying. You got a lot of drivers kind of all over the place. Usually our title contenders qualify very well. They're a little down the order than they usually are. Dejon Weeks, the championship leader, comes in this race 7th for the starting grid. And his teammate Jordan Davis, 2nd in the championship. He'll start 13th this afternoon. Ryan Griffin, he's got a ways to go. His 7th win of the season last weekend at Kansas. He'll start down the order in 16th. Jeffrey Fenguy, he's 4th in the championship and very much in the title hunt. Came very close to winning came very close to winning last race at Kansas. He's looking for redemption here in Australia. He'll start there in the 5th position. A lot of drivers all over the place in the qualifying session. How will this race unfold for Surfers Paradise? Getting set and ready to go racing for round 21 of the season. Nick Mace is on pole position, and it's a very much needed pole position for him. It's a very unique first 2 rows. We haven't seen these drivers win a race this year, well, not counting Charles Sanford. Sanford's looking for a 3rd win this season. He's got all of his wins on road courses. He could be the favorite this afternoon. He's got his boss and team owner right beside him. Nick Mace looking for a win this season to go out on top, as he's going to lead the field to the green for the first race here at Surfers Paradise. As the field gets set and ready, we're green flag and racing for round 21. The field is bunching up behind them. Charles Sanford door to door with Nick Mace. Is he going to have the advantage? Nick Mace cuts clear through the chicane there, through the bus stop, and round the outside. Charles Sanford trying to stay alongside of Nick Mace. Kyle Collins brushed the wall there. He's going to lose some time. Sanford and Mace still door to door, heading down the back straightaway here. Cars jockeying for position behind. Sanford trying to stay alongside of Nick Mace to try and shoot up the gap. Mace covers the position, and Mace hangs onto the lead. Further back, Dylan Schwellenberg trying to race Jeffrey Fenguy, can't get him there. Matthew Rodriguez trying to hold up Bobby Jones. Jones had a great start of the run there. Great run in qualifying for him. Rodriguez around the outside of Sean Harple. That's for position there for P8. And Rodriguez may have the position. Schwellenberg is going to get Fenguy round the outside of Fenguy in this corner. The S is very tough to get around. Harple has binned it. Harple is through it in the barrier. A great qualifying effort for the Mace driver of Sean Harple. He qualified in the top 10 for the first time really in a long while. And Harple throws it in the barrier. At it here, Cody Lamas tried to make it 3 wide in the back. He had a poor qualifying effort while his teammates did very well. And while the cars were bunching up together, Hayden Klein, the 4 wide, right there is not what you needed, and Klein and Davidson made contact, and it bunched the field up, and half the field got accordioned back in the field, and they all tried to get settled out while Zachary Fitzwater spun across the surface, and he was trying to get back and going, but Fitzwater, not a run he wanted to have here at home. On board with Fitzwater. This was a very, very slow corner here. Just through this corner for the first corner and just 4 wide. Not gonna work. tough break for some of these drivers that qualified out back. Qualifying was very important for this race weekend in much ways than another. A little further back, John Art has fell out of the race, and it was from this incident here. Art piles it in the tire barrier down through the S's, and Art is out of the race on lap 1. Gonna get a replay of what happened to Sean Harple. He was being challenged by Matthew Rodriguez, who just scraped the tires leaving that corner, and Harple hits the wall. And how about that save from Curtis and DeMax to try and get single filed out and to try and miss the 25 car. Anyway, lap 1 of the race, Nick Mace will lead that lap like we said, and he did a fantastic job to be able to get out in front of his teammate of Charles Sanford, who was very much challenging Mace on the opening lap to try and get the lead, but it was not for nothing. Sanford had to fall back to second. Many people discussed before the race that this race could be won on lap 1 of the race, that it was very important to try and make up positions here, and gonna get a replay of the 2 leaders that were racing and try and get a few more replays. Lap 1 had a lot of incidents here, and Nick Mace under threat here as they went through another S-bend here, and Sanford tried all he could, got very loose. Nick Mace was able to hold on. Here's a replay that Dylan Schwellenberg, he was trying to set up Jeffrey Fenguy. He was trying to move up another position, and a great maneuver there. Schwellenberg may have gave Fenguy a little nudge, not able to tell for sure, but a move that Harple was trying to do, Schwellenberg perfected it and moved up into the top 5. A little further back, DJ Curtis has moved his way up into the top 10 for this race. He's having a great run right now. Harple really struggled on lap 1, and it allowed Curtis to be able to get in the top 10, but he's under fire from championship contender Jordan Davis, 2-time champions, going at it. 4 championships in the picture right there, battling for position. Davis looking for a position on Curtis, trying to get into the top 10. Here comes Davis alongside of Curtis. And the inside actually is not the preferred line around this corner. You want to have a wide corner to be able to get a good turn down the straightaway to get a better exit. And that's exactly what Curtis is getting, and a great run to get to the top 10. Jake Bassinger in the Red Bull colors looking to take Charles Sanford for second place. Turner Performance has really been turning the corner, and Jake Bassinger has been turning up the heat since the summer break. And here comes Bassinger looking for second. Sanford not wanting to give it up. He hits the barrier though, and Bassinger around the outside is going to take second away, and now is going to try and run down Nick Mace. Ryan Griffin, he didn't qualify very well, and a lot of people were talking that Griffin needed a good 2 races in the Australian Tour, and here he is on Will Lewis looking to get into the top 15, and Ryan Griffin is up into P15. Here comes Davis again. He had a great run through the S-bend on the back straight and down into the final sector. Davis looking to try and take 10th place from DJ Curtis. Curtis has really struggled for Curtis Racing. A top 10 would be a fantastic run for him, but he hits the barrier, which has been a very tough spot for everybody. He drops down to 11th. Matthew Rodriguez is also working on Dejon Weeks. He's looking to try and take this position around the outside. He's got a good run off this corner and trying to make a dive bomb up the inside of the final corner. And how about this from Matthew Rodriguez? Has not won a race yet this season, and he is not in a very good position to try and get the win this afternoon, but you never know. And Rodriguez is up into 7th place. Nick Mace's lead is shrinking little by little. Jake Bassinger looking to put Turn Performance in the victory circle for the first time this season. Lap 5 of 57. It is a long ways to go, but Bassinger is looking like the best car out there. A lot of cars that have suffered damage by hitting the barrier and hitting the wall. Turner and Fisher, they are on pit road. A lot of drivers have pitted to get damage repair, like Harple, Davidson, and TJ Martin. I gotta say, Bobby Jones is having a great run this afternoon, running in the top 10. He's outperforming his teammates by quite a good margin, and Bobby Jones, he's going to have a threat from Jordan Davis, who's been running him down, and Davis shooting it up the outside. Davis sees his teammate right up ahead of him, and he's trying to be able to get up there and challenge Dejon Weeks and gain ground in the title mix. Davis shooting up the inside, but that has not proved to be the best groove. But Davis still trying to get alongside the 98, and the outside line proves to be yet again the superior line through that corner. Bobby Jones is going to hold Davis off for now, but Davis through this corner has been able to get such a great run out of the S's and be able to try and challenge something in the final sector. Here it is. Davis, another great run. This is where he's been making his passes a lot recently, coming up into the final sector. And Jordan Davis is on the back end of the Hero Motorsports Ford, and Weeks is looking to try and challenge Matthew Rodriguez again, try and get 7th place. And further ahead, Kyle Collins has hit the wall. Kyle Collins, who was running 4th, has fell down the order some. He's now down to 6th. Looks as though he's made a mistake, and you cannot afford to make mistakes here. The wall will catch you out, and it will hurt you massively. Kyle Collins, who has been very quiet this race weekend, doing very well, qualified very high up the order. He was running 4th. He's now down to 6th. Some more drivers who have hit the wall a little bit are pitting, so it is very important to not hit the wall. We've seen something very similar back at 12 Riviere, and how about this for the lead? Jake Bassinger has gotten to the outside of Nick Mace, and Jake Bassinger overtakes the 35-time winner in the series, the 2-time champion and 35-time winner with no wins this season. Same with Jake Bassinger. They've done battle for championships before and raced for wins. Looks as though they're going to do battle yet again. Bassinger and Mace, longtime veterans of the series, they have had a miserable season. 20 races down and 0 wins on the board for both drivers. And Bassinger and Mace desperately want to get a victory today. And Bassinger has checked out. DJ Curtis is trying to give Jordan Davis a little bit of a headache here. He slides wide though, but coming into the final corner, DJ Curtis looking to try and get back in the top 10. And Curtis is very good on the road courses, we know. He has tied the record for the most wins in a row on road courses. He's a very good road ringer, and he knows how to get it done. And into the top 10 he goes, back past Jordan Davis. But Davis throwing it up on the outside on Curtis, trying to get alongside, but Curtis says, not so fast, this is my position. And Curtis shuts out the 2-time champion, both of them 2-time champions. Fun to see, both champions going at it here. Further ahead, Weeks continues to work on Rodriguez, but Rodriguez is holding him back. Matthew Rodriguez has ran down Kyle Collins for position. He's taking a peek, trying to get 6th place away. Collins struggling with his race car a little bit. Collins tried to throw a block and tried to defend very well, but he almost caused a collision, and Collins is going to have to give way. Here comes Rodriguez in the Napa Toyota. He's going to get that position away, but Collins going to try and dig hard on the outside line, side by side, door to door, down the front straightaway. These fans are loving it here at Surfers Paradise. Man, this is a great race so far. A lot of great overtakes, and they're racing super hard with each other. And Rodriguez going to try and push his way past the 86, and he will there. Rodriguez is up in position. Then going to continue to work on Schwellenberg, but that is not a very good passing opportunity, at least not on the bottom, but he continues to work on him as they run side by side down the backstretch. Deeper down the order, it is very heartbreaking for the home countrymen of Jack Halleck and Zachary Fitzwater. They're running 37th and 38th. They will have one more race in the Australian Tour for the calendar of 2019, and they're looking to Bathurst to be able to capitalize and do a great performance for their home countrymen. Let's not discount Matthew Rodriguez here. Rodriguez is very good on the road courses as well, as he tries to go alongside of Jeffrey Fenguy. I'm very surprised through the S's of the final sector of the lap that there's a lot of good passing opportunities. I thought that part of the track would have been more single file, that you would not be able to make his passes. But Rodriguez is on a charge. He's up to 5th place. We're hearing that something happened between the battle for 9th, Curtis and Bobby Jones. Jones kind of struggled to get through the S's. Curtis tried to pounce, but he couldn't make it work. And Davis tried to get that opportunity made done, but he couldn't get around Curtis, so they bottomed up and lost a bunch of time between each other. But Curtis and Davis nearly got Bobby Jones there. Jones continues to run very solidly in the top 10. Here comes Dejon Weeks around the outside of Kyle Collins. That's right where you want to be to try and get a run down the back stretch. And there it is. Dejon Weeks will be able to get around Kyle Collins. He's up to 7th place. Collins is down to 8th position, while DJ Curtis looks like he's under fire further back for 10th. Him and Davis have done battle a good bit this afternoon. And Davis trying to get around him. Ryan Griffin a little further back. He's worked his way up a little bit. He's up to 12th place. And Davis looks as though he's going to be all over the back end of DJ Curtis here. But Curtis isn't going to crack. He knows how to get it done and knows how to wheel a race car. So if you're looking for Curtis to make a mistake, possibly not going to happen. Oh, Dylan Schwellenberg has made a mistake, though. He's in the tire barrier, and he's back and going, but he was running in 4th place. Let's look at this. Matthew Rodriguez had moved his way past Jeffrey Fingo recently. He was up in 5th place, looking to get around Schwellenberg. Off the bumper goes Dylan Schwellenberg on the bumper of Matthew Rodriguez. And very tight racing. And Dylan Schwellenberg can't be too happy with that, and I'm sure that one will be overlooked by the officials post-race. Gonna look on board again. Matthew Rodriguez was looking to get past. I think Rodriguez has got a good race car. If he can get clear of some race cars and try and fight for the win, I'm not too sure. I think Schwellenberg might have tried to cover off that position and try and throw a block. Matthew Rodriguez might have been there. Not sure. That was very tight. Meanwhile, we got a battle back here for 15th position. Chris Dodd has it. Will Lewis wants it. And Dodd has had a pretty solid race. He's been very close with his teammates. He's been ahead of Acosta, right on the back end of Ryan Griffin. And down the front straightaway, Will Lewis trying to take that position back away. And Lewis, this is a race for 15th to get into the top 15. And Lewis, side by side, door to door through the bus stop there. And Lewis comes out ahead. Matthew Rodriguez peeking to the inside, looking to get around Charles Sanford. This has been a great opportunity for many drivers to try and make a position pass. And Matthew Rodriguez going to get this position done easily to the inside of Charles Sanford. Sanford's been very good on the road courses, but so has Rodriguez. He's not got a win yet, and he's got a long ways to go if he wants to get it done. He's about 9 seconds down the road from Bassinger. He's up to 3rd place. Nick Mays is about 7 seconds now behind Jake Bassinger. And Bassinger is way up the road. He's looking very good. Jordan Davis and DJ Curtis continue to race very hard. This is for 9th place. And right where Jordan Davis really needs to be. Swinging it out wide, getting a better acceleration. And give the spot back to Jordan Davis. He's up to 9th place. But DJ Curtis isn't going to give up. He is on the back bumper. And that Curtis Racing Chevy's looking racy right now. Trying to get right back to the bumper of the one-car Jordan Davis. Trying to look for a position to get past. This has been a great opportunity for many drivers to make a run at somebody. But here comes Curtis. Where's the move going to come? Is he going to be able to make it? Right here. Here comes Curtis. Peeking the outside. Slight contact. Curtis and Davis has spun. Curtis and Davis has spun in the penultimate corner. And Curtis and Davis have spun each other. And they've lost time. Eric DeMax is now at the 9th. Curtis goes down to 10th. He's got a lot of right side damage. He's definitely going to have to pit here to get some repair. But that really bottomed the field up. And Ryan Griffin's under attack from Will Lewis. That's the position there. Griffin's been down in 14th. And now Lewis is trying to get a position on him too. But man, Jordan Davis and DJ Curtis collided and it stacked the field up. Between these two drivers, it is 4 championships, with one of them having a very good chance to add a 3rd championship to their name. And Davis trying to defend very well. Curtis getting very aggressive, trying to get past Jordan Davis. It's not often you see the Curtis Racing car be able to make a pass on the Yamp car. And Yamp tried to make a, I don't know if he was really trying to, he looked like he was trying to run his line, but Curtis was trying to get on the corner panel and run as close to the racing lane as possible, and just kind of got into the back of Davis, and around went Davis, and it was very slight contact that resulted in the spin and upset the race car enough for Davis to spin her out. Riding on board with Eric DeMax. See, it don't even look like they touched each other on Eric DeMax's car. It looked like they both got very loose, racing with each other so close together. And Eric DeMax is now in the top 10. Dejon Weeks may be under fire from Kyle Collins, trying to shoot it up the outside. How about that from Kyle Collins? Getting elbows out, trying to race the 38 car, going for 6th place. And Collins is going to take it away on the outside line. We're hearing that Dejon Weeks may be having a brake failure on his race car. He is running very slow, heading into the corners, and it is allowing everyone to outbrake him. He is really struggling with his race car. He's failed down the order some. He has now lost 2 positions in 1 corner, and you can just see that that car, it just is not there for him. Now, I'm not sure what is wrong with Dejon Weeks, but he is a lot slower on the racetrack than normal. He's down to 9th. And Dejon Weeks is on pit road. He is the first of the leaders to come to pit road. And this may be an unscheduled pit stop, and I wouldn't be surprised if his team tries to make it without pitting again. These two continue to do battle. Davis has ran down Curtis, and he is on the back bumper, trying to make something happen. And Davis gives Curtis a little bit of a nudge, trying to get to the 9th place back. And Davis nearly hits the wall. But Jordan Davis is going to move up into 9th place. Some of the leaders are on pit road. Kyle Collins is in. He's another driver of the leaders that have pitted. The fight is still on. Ryan Griffin, I have no idea what's going on with Dejon Weeks, if he's going to be able to make it, if his strategy will pay off. If not, he's going to gain a lot of ground in the title hunt. If it pays off in Weeks' favor, Griffin may lose ground, and he needs to continue to push for a top 10 run. He's past Schwellenberg with the help from Daniel Bouchard getting in the way. Griffin's up to 11th. Very close to halfway in the race, but Jake Bassinger's on pit road with Nick Mace, Matthew Rodriguez, Jeffrey Fenguy, and others are on pit road while Dylan Young stays out. Matthew Rodriguez's crew had a great stop. Nick Mace, not so much. Rodriguez, he gets a great run up the corner. Here he is. Oh! Trying to make a pass down in turn 1. Nick Mace had none of it. Trying to run Rodriguez off. And what a move by Nick Mace to have a defensive line there. And Nick Mace was not having it. He was going to make sure Rodriguez stayed behind him. All of them trying to make adjustments here for their last and only pit stop to get them the adjustments they need to run down the leader. During pit stops, Jeffrey Fenguy was able to leap ahead of Charles Sanford. Kyle Collins also leaped ahead of Sanford. He pitted earlier, though. And Collins is trying to get around Jeffrey Fenguy. This is for position. But a little further up ahead, Bassinger is going to come up to pass some other drivers that stayed out, like Bobby Jones, Jordan Davis, that have yet to pit, but are now on pit road. Overcutting has proved to be a very good move in the past, and Bobby Jones comes out right on the back bumper of Charles Sanford, and these drivers pitted earlier than Jones, so Jones should have fresher tires late in the run, along with Jordan Davis and others. Everyone has pitted, which means Dejon Weeks' strategy really backfired on him. Dejon Weeks looking to get around Eric DeMax. DeMax throws a block on Dejon Weeks, and DeMax continues to throw a big block down the straightaway. And DeMax is powerless to defend on Dejon Weeks, and Weeks looks as though he's going to get the dive bomb down underneath of Eric. But Dejon Weeks is dooring each other down the straightaway, and DeMax still comes out ahead of Dejon Weeks. Here's a replay. Eric DeMax down the straightaway was just absolutely blocking all he could, and DeMax just really not even giving Dejon Weeks any room whatsoever. Eric DeMax is very known for his aggressive driving style and very aggressive persona on the off track as well. And DeMax just completely keeping Dejon behind him, and Weeks is down in 10th place and losing ground to Jeffrey Fenguy and Jordan Davis. And more problems for Dejon Weeks. He has had to pit again here on lap 28. And a very tough break for the point leader. With 10 races to go, 9 after this one. This is going to be a big blow to Dejon Weeks. And he's going to probably lose the championship lead if he can't rebound from this one. Jordan Davis looking to pick off some more positions. This is blood in the water for him to be able to see his teammate struggling a little bit. Davis came in this race 11 points behind, and Jordan Davis looks as though he could get the championship lead back, and he's looking to get around Bobby Jones. Looks as though he will. Gets a good exit right there, and Jordan Davis shooting up the inside and up into 7th place. Will Lewis has also had to make an extra pit stop, so that is going to hurt him. He has been running around 15th for most of the afternoon. And further up ahead, while Lewis was exiting pit road, Rodriguez and Fenguy they've been racing with each other. Guy has ran down Matthew Rodriguez and really kind of cutting the tracker just a little bit there. But Guy up in 4th place, looking to get 3rd position. He's made some great adjustments to get up here and race for 2nd and 3rd. These are races that define championships. And Jordan Davis, he has 2 of them for a reason, and gets past Charles Sanford. Can't quite see it, but Sanford hit the wall, and Jordan Davis is up into 5th place. What a move by Jordan Davis. And this is the kind of races Davis will look back on as the kind of defining moments for him if he could come out with a 3rd championship this season. On pit road, PJ Williams having problems in this race, but Davis up another position. Jeffrey Guy looking to get a position on Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez's crew looks as though he has not made the adjustments like he's needed to get better. Nick Mace has gotten better to be able to hold off the 99. Rodriguez just slightly taps the tires. And Guy up in the 3rd place. And I know Guy really wants to win. He really wants to win a race before the season is out. He's in search of wins and championships. But Jeffrey Guy, if he can continue to run in the top 5 like he has, this could be a championship year for the 92 team. As the laps wind down, we got about 20 laps to go. We will run down a few of the race cars outside the top 10. Rodriguez is looking to get into the top 10. He's challenging Dylan Young. And a little further back, look at that, Matt DeLeo for Fuel Brothers Racing. He is up in the 12th place. 13th is Chris Dodd. 14th is DJ Curtis. 15th is Luis Hernandez. Dylan Schwellenberg's fell down to 16th. 17th is Carson Scott. 18th is Cody Lamas, who had to come from the back. Same with James Richardson. He's there in 19th. And the 20th position is Caleb Hoffman. Then it is Dom Capps. And a little further back, Kyle Collins. He has had problems and has had to pit multiple times. And it's a tough break for Kyle Collins. Same with Dejon Weeks. Not sure what the issue is for them, but they have had to make 2 pit stops. Jesse Turner down in 24th. He has had bad luck from the get-go. Then Johnny Gardner, Zayden Davidson, then Sean Harple, TJ Martin, and that makes up the last few cars on the lead lap. Jake Bassinger continues to hold about an 8-second lead on Nick Mace, and it looks very good for Turner Performance at this rate. But hold the phone for a minute. The leaders are on pit road. Jake Bassinger's on pit road. Nick Mace is on pit road. Rodriguez, Guy. Whoa, Bassinger pulls out in front of Mace. That can hold up Mace just a little bit, but Bassinger had a good stop. Is going to get some tires on real quick. And this could be a big one. 2 stops in this race. And Guy's out and away with right side tires. Same with Guy. Same with Mace. And Mace pulls right out in front of Jeffrey Guy. Is Mace going to race Guy similar to how Rodriguez was? And Mace is going to keep the 92 at bay. But Guy doesn't play as nicely as Rodriguez. While leaving pit road, Jordan Davis hit the wall down in turn 1. And Davis, that could result in him having to pit again because that is severe damage. Charles Sanford has yet to pit, and it will be 11 laps to go, coming up on 10. But Sanford is yet to pit. Dylan Young is on pit road now. So Dylan Young is on pit road, but how about Dejon Weeks is a lap down? Yes, he is. In the 38 car, he is very low down the order. Chris Dodd, he hasn't pitted yet. He is in 2nd place. Pit stops are trying to cycle out. Jake Bassinger is going to be your leader when the front 2 pit. Jordan Davis has been able to leapfrog Matthew Rodriguez on pit stops, but that damage, I still think is going to hinder him a lot here, and it could allow Matthew Rodriguez to take that position back away. The leader, Charles Sanford, finally pits on lap 48. And Chris Dodd will be the next driver to pit, and then he'll hand off the lead to Jake Bassinger, who has dominated this race. Chris Dodd does pit. There he goes. And now, Jake Bassinger is left to run for another 9 laps. Lee Jones was able to get out ahead of Charles Sanford, leapfrogs him there. Kyle Collins, I thought, had an issue, but he had pitted so early that I thought he had an issue, but Bolly can go the rest of the way. Not entirely sure on that, but he is in the top 10. Ryan Griffin's there in 10th place, and he's going to be under fire from Eric DeMax in the closing laps. But Griffin doing what he really needs to be doing, trying to get a solid run, while Charles Sanford tries to get up to speed with cold tires. What are Fenguy and Mace going to do in these closing laps? About 7 laps to go when they come back around. Nick Mace has been very defensive, trying to keep the 92 back, but Fenguy looks quicker, and he's going to get on the outside of Nick Mace, where a great passing opportunity comes from the final corner, and Jeffrey Fenguy will move up into second place. How many times has Fenguy ran second for this season? It's been a lot. Fenguy's been so close, but so far away. 15 seconds is the margin back to second place, and that's how far up ahead Bassinger is. But Jake Bassinger has ran a great race today, but Fenguy's race is that one car. He's trying to stay ahead of him because right now, Fenguy came in this race a full 21-point deficit behind the one car, Jordan Davis, and it looks as though that Jeffrey Fenguy will be 17 points behind Jordan Davis when the championship lead falls currently at this rate. Nick Mace is down to third, Fenguy up to second. Nick Mace looks like he could be under threat from Jordan Davis. Davis up the inside, trying to get around Nick Mace for third, but can't quite do anything there. But Davis always gets such a good run. That Yamp car gets such great power off the corners, and Nick Mace struggling a little bit with his race car. And Nick Mace gonna have to defend with all his might. Jordan Davis looking up for a way around, possibly the same way Fenguy got past. But Mace is gonna have to be very defensive through these corners, through these very slow part of the course. And Mace does defend very well. He holds on to third for now, but Davis on that back end, looking for a way to get around the 48. A little further back, Sean Harple has gotten in the back end of Johnny Gardner, spinning him around. And a solo spin, Gardner will get it back and underway. As the laps tick away, Dejon Weeks is running. As the laps tick away, Dejon Weeks is running in the 23rd position. It has not been the day that Weeks would have wanted. Looks as though he will lose the championship lead to Jordan Davis this afternoon. And he's going to be trailing going into the next round. Very quietly, Brian Griffin has made his way in the top 10 this race, and Griffin runs in the 8th position. Collins is down to 9th. Eric DeMax holds the final top 10 spot. Dylan Young looks to get into the top 10. Will Lewis is down a lap. And then Ryan Acosta is down there in the 12th position, while DJ Curtis has a solid afternoon nonetheless in 13th, with Dylan Schwellenberg back there in 14th. Coming to take the white flag flies here in Surfers Paradise here for Australia. Jake Bassinger and the 97 Red Bull Ford leads the way. Turner Performance, can you believe it? It's mid-September, and Turner Performance has 0 wins on the board. It's unbelievable, really. With a team that is known to dominate this series, they have 0 wins overall. And I'm absolutely blown away by that. And you would think that Bassinger and Turner would get many wins in a season. It has not been the case. And in fact, none of them, besides Jesse Turner, is in the top 10 in points. Bassinger's down the points. Jake Bassinger proving a point this afternoon that Turner Performance is coming back, and they're here to win races. Turner Performance, can they be a championship contender for 2020? They're hoping to do so. They're hoping to bounce back for next year. Jake Bassinger brings Red Bull and Turner Performance to victory here. Jake Bassinger wins at Surfers Paradise for round 21. These colors haven't been on the car for a while, but Red Bull will be stepping away from Turner Performance to host their own race team for 2020. And ironically enough, coming back for a sponsor on this race, they go to Victory Lane. But that sponsor and team will split up for next year, but Turner Performance is looking to get back to where they're known to be, in Victory Circle. Jake Bassinger I don't think anyone had much doubt that Turner Performance, Jesse Turner and Jake Bassinger would all win in the series. It's just known that they usually win at least once or a couple times in a season because they are so good. They are a dynasty in the series. They come into the seasons and they expect championship. They haven't even been close this year. And they haven't even won races until now. A dominant performance, 17 seconds up the road from the next competitor of Jeffrey Fenguy. Great job. Determined performance and good call for them. Jake Bassinger gets his first win of the season. Turner Performance gets their first win of the season. Jeffrey Fenguy gets second. Nick Mace needed this run today. He got the pole, and he looked strong, but he struggled for the most part. Jordan Davis, fourth. Matthew Rodriguez, fifth. Good run for Rodriguez. Davis held strong. He takes the championship lead. Jordan Davis does. And Bobby Jones needed that run. Sixth place. Charles Sanford comes home in seventh position. Ryan Griffin, pretty solid run, all things considering. 33 seconds back from the leader, but he had a good, solid afternoon. But he actually does gain ground in the championship, but he will lose a little bit of time to Jordan Davis. Kyle Collins, solid run for him for Horizon Group, gets 9th, and Eric Tamax makes up the last top 10 spot in 10th. Well, that was Surfers Paradise. We only have one more race of the Australian Tour, then we go back to the great USA. And with that, round 21 is done, and we have 9 races left until we crown a champion for 2019. Jake Bassinger is a winner for the first time this season in mid-September. It has been a long time this year. The season started in March, and who would have thought when the season started in March that Turner Performance would not have any of their drivers win until mid-September? That is a long time. Anyway, round 21 is done. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after round 21.